Rahog, I'm here for Punch Out Boxing. I'm here with my first world champion, Nina Hughes. Don't tell Lee that. He gets annoyed, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep claiming you. I don't care what Lee says. Um, so Nina, so just 3 weeks out before the biggest show of your life, if not
Yeah.
the biggest fight of your life, because I guess winning the world title will always be that special
Yeah.
night. But it's fair to say this matchroom card at Wembley Arena is going to be the biggest show you've been on.
Yeah.
But there's been some drama. So last week,
Just
after
a bit.
all the talk, all the hype, Shannon Courtney, the Golden Girl, a big comeback,
Yeah.
she's pulled out. So, want you to tell us, how was the news broken to you? Who was it that broke the news to you?
So, what people don't realise is 2 weeks ago, she already pulled out for a day because she wanted an 8 rounder against someone else instead. So she didn't fancy the fight 2 weeks ago. She pulled out, the fight was off. The next day, the fight was back on. She changed her mind. There was no injuries then. There was nothing wrong with her. She just didn't want to box me. She wanted an easier 8 rounder. Then the fight was back on. 2 weeks later, we're told she's pulled out again. No reason given at all. So, what conclusion would you jump to? It's all I can say. Obviously, then I posted what I did, and yeah, that's the first we heard of any injury.
So, can you tell us what was this rumor about her getting dropped in sparring? Where where
I don't know
where'd
how
that come?
true it is, but I've just had loads of people telling me that Beck Connolly dropped her in sparring, and that was about the time that she pulled out. So I don't know. Who knows
Okay.
what's the truth? It's going around the gyms, whether it's true or not. I can't be one to say, but yeah, there's been a lot of people talking about it.
So, as it stands, are you adamant that basically she's ducked you? She's realised that you're too dangerous and she doesn't
Well,
fancy it.
yeah, because she ducked me 2 weeks ago and then changed her mind, and then 2 weeks later it's cancelled again. So it does seem a bit suspect that suddenly she's got injured and she needs surgery, like when we've never heard anything of it. So
Hmm.
from our perspective, you can see why we think what we do. I mean, obviously we'll never know the truth, but yeah, apparently she's sunning herself in Marbella at the moment. So
Yeah, if you're looking at her Instagram, it does seem like she's been enjoying life in Dubai and Marbella, as you said, and all these exotic locations. When a fighter pulls out with an injury, aren't they obligated to show some sort of medical evidence,
I don't really
presumably?
know. I'm not
Hmm.
sure. I'm not sure the rules there.
Okay. So,
I wasn't even told of any injury. Like you'd think, like if it was genuine, that's the first thing you'd be told, isn't it?
hmm okay. So when you were told that this time she's actually gone for real, I mean, how does that? What's your initial feeling? Because obviously you're deep into training camp.
Yeah.
Do you feel crestfallen, or did your
Yeah.
management tell you straight away? Well, but don't worry, we've got a replacement lined up.
Well, they said they'd get a replacement, but obviously, like we've been training for 8 to 10 weeks, like solely focusing on her, the sparring, like you know, everything's been based around her. So obviously, it's frustrating. But as a professional, these things happen. Like people pull out all the time. People do get injured, and you just have to get on with it. Like obviously, I was gutted, and yeah, your head does go a bit for a day at a time, but then you just think you just got to get on with it. New opponent, was waiting obviously confirmation. A new opponent, I just had to keep training hard, and yeah, adapt to whatever the outcome was. Yeah.
So okay, so Shannon Courtney, she's out of the picture, and is it fair to say you're done with her now? No
Yeah.
more second chances. You can't be messed around like this.
She's in the past. Like I don't even need to think about it anymore. Like moved on. So
Hmm. All right. But as you said, you've got this replacement, so at least you are going to be out. And Katie Healy, the young lady who's taking Shannon's place, in some ways could potentially be actually a harder fight. I mean, she's 25, so she's
Yeah,
young in her prime. She's been active. She's got a world title of sorts. Went over there to Africa to get that WBF title. So, she's on a high, on a bit of a roll. No history of injuries. So in some ways she could be more dangerous. How much have you seen of Katie?
yeah. I actually think this is a tougher fight, and she's a better boxer. So yeah, it is a tougher fight in my eyes. So I've got to be switched on, keep training hard, and yeah, I just got to perform the best I can and get the win.
Did you see her last fight over there in South Africa? I think it was
Yeah,
televised on the BBC, weren't
it
it?
was on a bit. I've watched a couple of her fights, obviously,
Hmm.
see what she's
Okay.
like.
Have you ever encountered her, like in sparring or
Oh no,
anything?
I don't
No.
know. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so
Okay. Well, as you said, potentially harder and very different stylistically. She's quite a tall girl, isn't she?
yeah, completely different. So we're having to adapt, change our sparring partners up, and yeah, but yeah, I mean, we had to. Or in the amateurs, you have to adapt with whoever you got in front of you. So we just had to adapt and yeah, change things a bit.
Hmm. Do you know how quickly were they able to secure Katie after Shannon pulled out?
I think quite quickly, but obviously they have to get approval and stuff as well. So, but
Are you aware has she been in training or did she
yeah,
have a
she
fight lined up?
tenders me anyway.
Hmm.
So she obviously in camp anyway, so it worked out perfect. I think she was boxing the day before. Oh, my kid's crying.
Okay, so it's 3 weeks away. Yeah, as you said, you've had to change things up. How easy was it to get sort of the tallest sparring partners in at such short notice?
Well, I've only had today really. Today was my first time sparring someone taller. So
Okay.
yeah, and I think we've got it sorted for the next couple of weeks. We've only got 2 more weeks left of sparring.
Okay, so at least you've got a good solid 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
as you said though, you've got so much experience anyway. It's not like is there anything about Katie that you think she does particularly well, or does she bring
She's
anything you haven't seen?
she's just a nice, tidy boxer. She's tall, but she
Hmm.
looks like so uses her long arms.
So obviously, there's been a lot of talk, the potential for some huge fights if you came through this, um, but I guess you're not looking ahead at all.
No, I've just got obviously like we thought about what we want, and you obviously dream about the future and what you want, but obviously
Mhm.
my fully is on this fight because without winning this fight, nothing else is possible. So yeah,
Yeah,
I just got to fight on.
absolutely. I mean, it's a great time for women's boxing, as you know. Even if you haven't yet got the big money that some of those ladies are getting, but of course, this weekend, huge. The number one star in the women's game, Katie Taylor, fighting Chantel Cameron. What a fight that is! You're going to be watching that with a lot of interest.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait. It's going to be a cracking fight. I mean, yeah, it's probably one of the biggest fights for female boxing there is. So I'm looking forward to it.
How do you assess that fight? How that
It's
will go?
Katie's speed and boxing ability. She should be able to box Chantel, but I don't know. I think if anyone's going to beat Katie, it's going to be Chantel. I just think the extra weight, her work rate, um, yeah, her strength. I just think if she can stick it on Katie from round one, non-stop pressure, she can give Katie some troubles.
Hmm. You don't think d- the huge partisan crowd there in Dublin is that going to give Katie that extra 1% to get over the line?
I think it probably will, and it's obviously if it's close, it's going to be hard for her to lose in Ireland.
Hmm.
But yeah, we'll have to see. It's a close one. I think it'll be a close fight.
Do you think there's any signs of the long career and the wear and tear, all those wars that Katie's had that last time out against Serrano, that maybe it's starting to take a toll, that maybe she's just over the edge now?
Yeah, I think she probably isn't quite as good. She's still obviously amazing, but she's not quite as good as she was. So maybe she's slowing down a little, but I suppose her homecoming in Ireland's going to obviously give her a massive boost as well. So that's
Hmm.
what makes it interesting. And Chantel's obviously going in there and she wants to prove something. So yeah, it's going to be a great fight. I think
Yeah,
it'll be better than the Barno fight, to be fair.
yeah. I can definitely see that happening. As you said, there's that size and youth advantage that Chantel's got. And who do you want to win?
Well, Chantel's an old friend of mine from GB days, so obviously I do want Chantel to win. But obviously Katie is a pioneer for women's sport. Like she's obviously opened the doors for so many girls in like for everything. So yeah, but Chantel's a friend, so Chantel I'm going for.
Okay. On the same card, of course, there's another woman who's been quite a pioneer, Cecilia Brækhus, who was, of course, so dominant for for quite a few years.
Yeah.
Got those back-to-back defeats, but she's looking to have one last go against Terry Harper. That's another banger of a fight. How do you see that one going?
Yeah, I think Terry Harper's just she seems to be looking like she's on fire at the moment. She's improving. She seems to be settled at the weight. She seems to like enjoying herself at the weight, and I just think she'll beat Cecilia Brækhus. I think she's coming up, whereas like to her best, whereas Cecilia Brækhus is probably past her best.
Hmm. True, but I'm sure you're not going to say that just because she's over 40, because we're
Oh,
over here, we're Team Fab 40s, as you know.
had a long career, hasn't she? So
She actually has been at the top level for a long, long time, no doubt. What do you make of the other women's fight on the same night as yourself? The Aussie girl Shanika Johnson.
yeah,
She meets our own Ellie Scotney.
yeah.
Seen much of Shanika?
I haven't. No, I haven't really watched any of Shanika, so it'll be interesting. But yeah, I hope Ellie can do it. Obviously, we've sparred a lot of rounds with Ellie before. Yeah, and Ellie's a good girl. She's a good, great boxer. So, but I haven't seen enough of Shanika to judge who would win them.
Yeah, she's quite new on the scene. I know you've in the past said you probably won't go above bantamweight, so you haven't got one eye on them as.
I haven't got long enough. I did win the Commonwealth and the WBA at Super Bantam, but
Mhm.
I haven't got my career there to go up and down.
Okay, you can just watch that as a fan then, like the rest of us. And of course,
Yeah,
young Shannon Ryan on the same card as you. Bit of a step up for her.
yeah.
Exciting times in that weight class. A lot of girls down there. Lauren Parker, Macy. I'm sure these girls you've sparred with all of them.
Yeah, I've done a lot of rounds with Shannon. Like Shannon's been my main sparring partner throughout for Jamie Mitchell and for Shannon Courtney. Obviously now quite some taller girls, but we've been sparring literally every single week for the last God knows how many weeks, and the whole of the Jamie Mitchell camp. So yeah, she's a real talent, Shannon, and yeah, I really rate her. She'll do good.
Do you
She'll
think
definitely be a
she'll go all the way to the top? Do you think?
yeah, I think she's definitely be a world champion.
Yeah, she's a great signing for Matchroom, much like yourself, actually. So, all right. Well, I guess it's just 3 weeks away. I can just say good luck for Wembley. Can't wait to see you do the business. Yeah, anything you want to add?
No, just thanks to all my sponsors and thanks for all the support.
All right, Nina, always a pleasure. We look forward to seeing you at Wembley Arena.
Thanks. See you later.